I love him. I love Dan. I love him. Um, and then like the NBA too, him like when Iverson and Durant was in Oklahoma, I was bro, I was into it. Like I was so into it, especially the Iverson and Kobe days and Tracy McGrady in Orlando, Vince Carter. Like I'll never forget that Vince Carter versus Iverson playoff matchup. I was
That
so
was
heavy
fun.
into it, and then there was just a period where like I don't even. It's like damn, like 10 years probably went by. I think it must have been when I had my son and the headache baby mother situation. It's like everything just
Takes your
it's I
focus
don't
away.
it's gone. I don't remember.
We are live, Vic.
No, I know. I mean, she could too,
Hey
Vic
man.
man,
letting us
Shout out to
know.
you,
Vic letting us know he missed an entire half of a decade of
bro.
NBA hoops
My son is 10 years old, and I haven't really
due
like
due to
sat down.
due to trauma, ladies and gentlemen. Due to
man,
trauma,
that's rough,
we will
bro.
have another
Bro,
we will have
cancel the
another
show. We
trauma
got a lot
episode.
more. We got more important shit we got to talk about now,
Yo,
Jay. Cancel the show. Kill the lights. Forget
yo.
it all. Sit down, Vic. Dim the lights. Sit down. Let's talk. Forget
We
the fact that
could
we live, brother. Get it off your chest.
yeah, this could be a whole hour subject, you know what I mean? But um and then like how wrestling at one point was just a weekly thing,
Yeah.
and then that died off for a period. It's
I'm,
crazy, man. Like
I'm gonna tell you what
30,
killed WWE, right?
yeah.
A couple things, but somebody said this a while back when we were in our DC. We're gonna kick off. We're gonna let everybody get comfortable. We're just having a casual conversation for now. What killed the WWE for me, in my humble opinion, was one. Matter of fact, I heard Austin say this. Stone Cold, that is the
We'll be
spontaneity,
back for WrestleMania.
the spontaneity of spontaneity. I can't say it. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Spontaneity. Right.
Thank you, Jay. It's gone
And
from
I may have
wrestling.
said it wrong too, but hey.
Yeah, but hey, it is what it is. I can't say it, so I'm not even gonna keep trying. And then number two, the mic, man, the mic. Nobody on the mic has it like
Right.
Austin, like Triple H, Jericho, Kurt Angle, even like they had mic presence to them.
And
Obviously the
you didn't
Rock and
even
Austin, like
yeah,
forget
well,
about it.
I was gonna say you
Yeah,
didn't even name the goat of the mic
of
probably.
course not, because
Me being the OG of this conversation right now, I must have to tell you that everybody that you just named was scripted.
I'm
Now,
aware.
with that being said, they weren't necessarily scripted to the letter. They were more bullet point dudes who could take it and make it their own
Well,
in
it's
their
Mhm.
like
way.
it's like a great actor, Jay. That's why
Right.
they always
Absolutely.
the most electrifying move in sports and entertainment.
Absolutely.
You know what I
The
mean?
difference
Like,
the difference
yeah.
between like him, the difference between like him and the previous generations with like Flair and Dusty was like it was straight, it was a freestyle with them.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was like they may have some bullet points, but it's like Dusty got his bullet points up here.
Right.
Flair got his up here. He's just going in and they don't then to do that in a time cue. That's the genius part of it, and that goes into the lack of the spontaneous nature of WWE in the wrestling
It's all right.
world. Right. It goes back to that.
See,
So it's one of those deals though. But
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like in sports because I look at it now, it's like the UFC is really the best professional wrestling promotion in the world. And they don't even really just do professional wrestling.
No.
They do
yeah,
professional wrestling elements in terms of
Sure.
selling the product,
True.
yeah.
but they're not, it's not a fixed outcome.
Right.
See, and and you and I talked about this beforehand when I was picking your brain about the WWE and all that. Like Randy Orton could have been that Stone Cold type of heel baby face that Stone Cold played. It's just he didn't have that mic presence that they just he couldn't he
Nah,
couldn't speak like them, bro. It's just not the same.
No.
Like he could have been that guy where like he's a baby face, but like against the company like Stone Cold was, and you know, terrorizing the leadership and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I like Randy's my guy, but he didn't have the mic, man.
So it's like this, right? And make my point so we can get to the show. When you talk about the mic presence, Jay, and scripted and whatnot, it's like a movie. Like you could have a great script, but if you don't have the actor to deliver the performance, and that the delivery is the actor's creation. You know what I mean? That's his creative control, is the delivery. And you know what's a perfect example of that? This is gonna sound so dumb. I swear it's gonna sound so dumb. But Joe Dirt, the movie, that is one of the dumbest plots in the history of movies.
I give you even
but
better.
David Spade does a masterful job of actually making it watchable. Go ahead.
And you know that nobody wrote that for him.
Right. Exactly.
I look at Chris Tucker on Money Talks the exact same way. Nobody wrote
That's
that
another
for
one.
him.
That's another one. But that had a good plot. That had a good plot.
It had a good plot.
Yeah, that had a good plot.
The same with Rush Hour. It's like you can't write for that. He can take the general gist and bullet point of it and knock it out the park and make it his own. But you can't write for him. You can't script him. No.
Right.
Different type of talent.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, y'all. This is, we try to keep it real here at the scene, and we do this every now and then. If you haven't been paying attention, where we just click live while we're still talking about whatever it is we're talking pre-production, just to give y'all a little insight as to how the conversation goes with us. Because when we're live, it's really the same conversation. It's like Jay just talked about. It's not scripted. Like, we might have bullet points, but ain't nobody here reading off a script. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody here got a little what's that thing the president has, Vic? That's just, highlighting.
Teleprompter.
Yes, ain't nobody got a teleprompter over here, bro. This is straight lab views, baby.
The
it's
current,
the current one.
The current one must have the letters about this big.
All right. Oh man, welcome y'all. Jay Ham is gonna join us back soon. He's in the kitchen. Me and Vic doing our own cooking tonight. We in the lab. The Pyrex is on. We got the Pyrex Vision 2020 style views from the 22. The hiatus is over, and it is over just in time, Vic, because we got a lot, and I do mean a lot, to talk about. Obviously, Germ So True. He may or may not. We'll see. You know how Germ is, and maybe the end of the show, when all of a sudden that Stone Cold music hit, you just don't know. But we're gonna see. We're gonna try to give you a jam-packed show in a condensed amount of time, because we are going to be coming at you tonight, possibly Sunday, and definitely Monday and Tuesday. So be on the lookout, because we are back. We will put the schedule in the Facebook group, on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Facebook, we got the Scene page. We got Views from the 22 group, amongst the other groups, 94 Feet of Life, The Dish, Stoppage Time FC. And then on Instagram, the.scene. It's all going to be there. We will set a schedule to make sure y'all don't miss a damn thing. Now that we got the politics out the way, and we don't want to discuss any of the other politics. We're here to talk views, baby. We're here to talk football. We're here to talk about the greatest reality show on TV, and that is sports. And the one league that seems to be in every episode, that seems to always want to be the main character with the egotistical, arrogant, the National Football League. Vic Jr., you ready to go?
See, Bobby.
All right, let's talk about the big one. Let's just dive right into it. Let's talk about the big one. Now, obviously, this has become a little more of a trend throughout the last couple years. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Now, not that this guy is on the level of those two, not that saying that by any stretch, but major news from the NFL, from the NFC. Oh my God, the Seattle Seahawks traded Russell Wilson. They traded Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos. First of all, we told y'all this would happen, okay? Before we get into the details, before we get into the details, Vic, what was the initial reaction when you saw that shit come across your screen?
I quickly get into scouting mode, bro, because then I started to look at who's gonna be blocking for him. I start to look at who is he gonna throw to. I look at the details of the trade. Are they gonna be able to use any picks, this season that can help them immediately? The immediate question to that right now is probably a no. Since they traded both the first and second round pick.
Yep.
That's usually where you try to get some of your starters, especially if your team has an early pick.
Right.
So as of right now, their 9th overall pick in this draft is now in Seattle's possession, as well as the second round pick is in Seattle's possession. So
So
it's gonna be a free agent situation to see what other things, because I mean you guys know what my complaint has been about Seattle. To me, Russ is one of the best quarterbacks in the world for like the first 7 weeks of the season. And then after that is like, a complete downhill from there. Whatever you want to call it, they hit a wall or something. They don't block good enough. He's not moving good enough. There's not enough velocity in the football as the season goes along. There's a lot of factors that change there for him. So, the Denver Broncos got a good young offensive line. But if you can always upgrade, you can always
100%.
upgrade all the, anytime.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they have any more assets, but to trade away. But Leah Collins is apparently on the trade market for Dallas, and we will get to Dallas, no doubt about it. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. The first lady in there, of course, Big Shot Dennis in there, KG. Shout out to KG in there, and obviously Mr. Category 5 Storms kicked us off in the comment section. So as far as what you were talking about, the trade went down. They traded away Russell Wilson and a 6th-round pick in exchange for 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a 5th-round pick for good measure, Drew Lock, they're giving him away, Shelby Harris, wow, and Noah Fant. I'll take it. Like, this was a mega deal. It was a mega package, but it was worth it. And everybody wins. Everybody wins from this trade. Russell Wilson, damn sure wins. The Denver Broncos absolutely win. And the Seattle Seahawks, believe it or not, they win. They were not going to win with Russell Wilson. They were going to waste the next couple years of his career. Why? They had no future assets. They had no draft capital. They had nothing where they could build that foundation. They are not at a stage in their franchise where they can just do things under a certain blueprint. They have a quarterback. He's in a certain window now, and they have Jamal Adams. They have cap space. They got aging veterans. Like, Seattle was a mess. Seattle was a real mess, and it was exposed in spades when Russell Wilson was not there. Like, we knew they weren't going to win as many games. We didn't expect them to lose this many games. And they couldn't find ways to win ball games. And I think when you take away a quarterback and that happens, that means there's a lot of problems there, and you need to be aggressive one way or another, aggressive in your decision-making next, whether that's we're going to go for a championship and we're going to spend all this money, or we are just going to say, hey, it was a nice run. Let's start over. And I think, just real quick for Seattle, who's to say that next year, like 2023, they're not going to be in the race? Who's to say 2022 they're not going to be in the race? Who's to say they don't sign a quarterback? I'm sorry. I'm being dead serious when I say this. Jameis Winston is available. Like, there is still hope now that they have future. Now that they have a future to plan for. Seattle is in a much better space today than they were last week. And that's the bottom line, because Shefty said so. As far as the Denver Broncos are concerned, and this is where I want to focus the conversation now, Vic. You talked about it. The scouting. That's immediately where your mind went because that's just the way you program. There is a lot there for Denver. Like you looked at Denver last year. Hell, to be honest with you, if we go back to the 17-week season, I picked Denver majority of those weeks. Like if I was accurate on Denver, Denver would have been 11-6 or 12-5 because there was a lot of talent there. They didn't have a quarterback. They got a quarterback now.
Yes.
Like they got a quarterback in an AFC where there is no dominant force. Let me scratch that, repeat that, and put some emphasis on it. The NFL no longer has a dominant force. That's the reality. For the first time in 15 years, there is not one dominant force in the NFL. From 2005 to 2014, there was about two, being Brandon and Brady. Then Brady had the throne by himself. There's nobody now. There's nobody who you can say is at the top of the food chain. Clear cut. And now you put Russell Wilson in the AFC, which we have seen how wild the AFC can be. The AFC is not just going to be a walkthrough for Kansas City no more. That's just, forget that. Those days are over. Now they got Russell Wilson. They got a defense that was top 10 in scoring, that forced turnovers, that generated pressure after they traded away Von Miller. Like Denver has quietly rebuilt a very strong team. They just needed that missing piece. Who does that sound like? Tampa. Who does that sound like? The Rams. Yes. What those two teams got in common? They're the last two Super Bowl champs.
Last two Super Bowl.
No spoilers. I'm gonna leave it there. Go ahead, Vic.
So real quick, Seattle also cut Bobby Wagner. I think they try to, if I'm not mistaken, they try to trade him. But that wasn't going to happen. You got a situation there with a player, just kind of coming down in his from his game as well. So,
just not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
2 months ago, it was said, you either keep both or you let both go, and that's exactly what they did. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, Seattle's definitely getting a little makeover right now. But I agree with you. I think they still have a lot of pieces that they can work with if they get a quarterback. Jimmy might be also on the trading block as well. Looking at some of the gradings and stuff like that from some of the sources that we're not going to name, the tackles of Bobby Massey and Garrett Bowles, who at one point looked like he was going to be a complete first-round bust for Denver, have been fantastic in pass protection for them.
Yes.
But they can use some help in the interior. They did draft the LSU center Lloyd Cushenberry last season, who blocked for Joe Burrow in that championship run. He is a draft pick. Gemini wasn't heavy on the player, but he is a starting center right now. So they can use some guys in the middle to kind of help that offensive line. And like I said, if Russ can get some protection, this team is fantastic, like you said. Shout out to the cornerback, the rookie cornerback, who I had low expectations for as when it comes to a first-round pick. Patrick Surtain, the second, he had a fantastic season. So, that defense is going to be strong. Again, it's just going to be about the protection because the receivers are fantastic as well. And another one that went under the radar too, Mo, today, Roger Saffold.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that.
Okay, he was cut. So, that's an option for them too. So you got Lyle. You got Lyle, like you said, Lyle Collins from the Cowboys. You got Roger Saffold. So, the Broncos have $39.1 million in cap space, according to overthecap.com. Shout out to those guys. Anybody that wants to check their cap situation, team cap situation, overthecap.com is fantastic. And according to them, the Broncos have $39 million to spend right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what else they do for for Russ, because they don't have the resources obviously in the draft right now.
That being Denver.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's okay because they got what they need,
Quarterback, right?
and they got enough to get what's left. They got enough to get the garnish, and and the whatnot. No, for real, they do. That's all they need is some garnish.
I just want to see the guy with protection, with consistent. You know what I mean? Because again, it's just if you watch the tape game by game, like the first 7 weeks, they look fabulous. The running game is doing good. They're blocking for him. He's playing fantastic. One of the best deep ball throwers I've ever seen. Okay, and then all of a sudden they just hit a wall.
Right.
You know what I mean? So sacks are going up, pressure is going up. You know, when they play the Rams, it's like Aaron Donald is double Aaron Donald or something. Sounds crazy, but it's true. You know what I mean? So, protection. Give Ali Marpet a call.
Right. Let's just keep it flowing. I think we covered enough bases on that trade. Let's keep it going. Another trade, major trade alert. Khalil Mack. We got one more quarterback to talk about, but let's talk about Khalil Mack real quick, Vic. This is a couple hours ago, about 4 or 5 hours ago. Oh, boy, the Bears. Khalil Mack was traded to the Los Angeles Chargers for a 2nd-round pick and a 6th-round pick next year. Look, I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good place. I feel positive vibrations vibrating through the vibranium. I will not talk about the Chicago Bears. What I will say is jab, counter. Okay? You get Russell Wilson, I'm getting Khalil Mack. All of a sudden, you got 3 teams in the AFC West. Yes, I said 3 teams. You got 3 teams in the AFC West that are going to be hunting for that number 1 spot. Hunting. You got the Chiefs and the Broncos with tier 1 quarterbacks. Go ahead, Jay. You got your hand raised. You got your hand raised. Go ahead, brother.
While we were on the AFC West, I just wanted to come in and confirm of the slowness of the Las Vegas MGM Grand Excalibur. Every other hotel chain, not chain, but every other hotel in Vegas. Yes. I just wanted to shout out to April. That was just a troll moment. Way to suck. They slow, they sorry. I just want to get that in. I'm going back and baking these gluten-free chocolate chip cookies that I got going on.
Gluten-free.
Hey.
They're available in 7G as well. Holla at your boy. I'll be back in a few though.
Anything less would be uncivilized.
Heel activity at its finest.
Right. Yo, shit. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Jay.
Godfather.
You got the Mahomes. You got Wilson, tier 1 quarterbacks. You got Justin Herbert. Only a matter of time. Justin, what's First Lady call him? Sherbert. Justin Sherbert, baby. Justin Sherbert. He is the Cold Stone Creamery of young quarterbacks. Okay, that's just what we're gonna leave him at. You got 3 dynamic quarterbacks, 3 top of the line quarterbacks, and all of a sudden, Vic, dare I say, the Chiefs are the 3rd best team in the AFC West. Because the Chargers now, what we saw with Seattle 7 years ago, oh my God, wow. It's been 10 years. My God, it's been 10 years.
Time flies, bro.
What we saw with the Legion of Boom, there is a lot of teams that have certain pieces that are still using this foundation, right? And all of these teams have one thing: pass rushers.
Yes.
In multiple gaps. And the Chargers now have that. Your thoughts on the Chargers adding Khalil?
So let me play devil's advocate a little bit here. You got a situation.
Bring it.
So shout out to Coach Les. He's probably coaching the players right now, getting ready for a game or something like that. I don't know if he's on the comments, but I wanted to ask him quick because he seemed like he was disappointed about the trade, and I wanted to ask him the same question he asked Category 5. What is your projection for the Bears, making a Super Bowl?
Okay.
He asked that to Josh early in the season about his Bengals, and Josh said, I'm gonna give it a couple years, and sure enough, it was a matter of a few months. But anyway, what are we projecting for the Bears here? You know what I'm saying? How far away are they from a Super Bowl appearance? So my question is, like, why not try to get the best value you can for the player?
Yeah.
He's 31 years old. Okay. He did have a 6-sack season in 7 games, which is fantastic, of course. 20 tackles, about 15 pressures, I think I saw.
Okay.
So it still looked like it was projecting to a solid Khalil Mack type of season, but he did play 7 games. He does get hurt at the end of the year. So now you got yourself a situation where you got some sort of value. Maybe you could have asked for a first-round pick for one of the teams in the back, but, it is what it is. You got a second-round pick. The Chargers, on the other hand, they got enough defensive pieces. They got a quarterback. They got an outstanding offense. They just improved their pass rush. They can rotate them. They can keep Khalil healthy with less snaps, and hopefully get, I don't know. I want to say more than 17 games out of him. But at least get a full season where he has to, what LeBron and these guys are doing in the NBA. What is it called again? When they making sure they take some time off. Let's just say
load management.
Load management. You know what I mean? So, you got a situation where the Chargers can afford a little bit of load management, right?
Sure.
But the Bears, he has to play every down. For the Bears, he has to play every down, no? But for the Chargers, you can kind of rotate them a little bit more.
That's a great point.
Game off.
That's a great point.
So, for me, it's like, you know what? Let the Bears do what they got to do. They got to get ready for the future, because are they really, really, like, Super Bowl ready? Anytime soon, at least.
As far as your point about Mac, in game, you can, save both of their legs for the fourth quarter. And shout out to John Gruden. One of the smartest things he ever talked about is fourth quarter pass rush. That is beyond important.
Yeah.
Beyond important. You know who was really good at a fourth quarter pass rush for multiple years? The New England Patriots, even though they didn't have the best pass rushers. They had a lot of depth.
Everybody was rotating. Everybody was rotating.
This is the truth. And now the Chargers have depth and talent. Excuse me. And game change. As far as the Bears, the only thing I'll say, looking over the horizon, the visibility is at 2%. The dew point is in the low 80s. It's I don't know what the Bears are doing. I really don't.
Right.
Speaking of people who I don't know what they're doing.
Oh.
The Indianapolis Colts.
I'm gonna let you talk about. Yeah, I'm gonna let you talk about.
Forget the fact that Wentz is my boy. Okay, we know this. Forget that. Okay, I will give you a logistical analysis of Carson Wentz at a future date. Okay, I am here to talk about the Colts. We know they traded Carson Wentz. They traded him, I believe it was for, I got it somewhere, a second round pick, not even. They traded him for like
it was a third.
Bro, they traded him for a third round pick and a 2023 third that could be converted to a second. Okay? So now, the Colts, for the 6th year in a row, are going to have a different starting quarterback. Okay, cool. Yes, my brother. Yes, just in time.
I just want to say, especially now that we are here at the Jim Irsay portion of the program.
Yes.
That ever since Jim Irsay got caught in traffic with more dope on him than a 1980s wrestler working in the territory. Hey, it is what it is with your quarterback, Chief. I'm just saying, it's karma. I don't know what it is, but I think honestly he was trying to get all the Andrew Luck pain pills. That's what made Andrew Luck retire. I'm going back to the kitchen on that one. I'll be back. Y'all continue more Hill activity.
We're gonna talk about it.
to Jay's point, you wonder if that's who Jeezy was talking about when he said he pulled up to his partner and gave it to him all in plastic.
Oh.
Anyways, 5-6 quarterbacks in a row now. That's number one.
Yeah. What was it? Hold on, 100 million worth of quarterbacks.
Yes.
Paid some
Forget
salary
the money.
within the last.
I ain't worried about the money. I ain't worried about the money. You talk money is fake in the NFL. For real. Don't worry about the money. NFL money is monopoly money. I'm dead serious. I don't even count the money. You can't count the dollars. But you talk about lacking continuity, lacking leadership, if ever there was a person. But here's what we got now, Vic. To make it even worse, they gave up to get Carson Wentz. So you're telling me you sacrificed a first-round pick, you sacrificed a possible 10-year player just for 1 year? Just for 1 year? And in that 1 year, that person, at the end of the day, in a bottom line business, they got you competitive. They got you relevant. Last week of the season, should have made the playoffs. We get that. We get that the season ended in a failure. But when it's all said and done, you got to review the bigger picture and look at the bottom line. Yes. And the bottom line, the Colts had a successful season. Carson Wentz had an upside season for his career, 27-7. Yes, he had bad moments. Yes, he cost them the game in week 17. We understand all of that. None of that changes from the bottom line, and none of that changes from a reasonable projection to where this team was going. I'm not saying they was going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they was going to make the Super Bowl. They was going to get close. They were going to win games. They have the talent. They've constructed this roster so good.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So good. So good. A couple of weeks ago, okay, never mind. I ain't going to get that personal. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Point is,
throw the butter in the pan and anyway.
I don't like strawberries, okay? I'm gonna tell you what I was gonna say. I hate strawberries. If there's one thing I hate in this world, like if you told me I would give you $100 to eat this strawberry, I will not eat it. I hate strawberries, the way they smell, the texture, the taste, everything.
But $100 is monopoly money to you.
I'm not talking. I thought NFL money is monopoly money, okay? Don't diffuse and deflect and deter my statement.
My bad.
Yo, what was I saying? Damn it, Vic.
The strawberries.
Oh, the strawberries. Okay, now this wonderful person made some strawberry chocolate cheesecake thing. Okay, it was like the actual thing was delicious. It was incredible. I could have eaten the thing just by itself, but then you taste the strawberries, and it's like. Psh, the Colts are a perfect example of constructing a roster. They did it beautifully and they hit. Yeah. But they have butchered the quarterback. They have brought a filet mignon and overcooked it. Okay? Go ahead, Vic. Go ahead. I'm going to stop for that.
Yeah, it's okay. Catch your breath a little bit.
Yeah.
Conflicting reports here. I heard of the leadership situation off the field with Wentz, and that Frank Reich went up to the ownership and apologized apparently for bringing him in. I don't know how much that stuff I'm buying. It's again, like you said, there was a stretch where he was fantastic. There was a stretch where he wasn't.
Yeah.
But I am in that part of the whatever you want to call it, where if you don't have a replacement at that position, the hardest position in sports, then you have to stick with what you have.
Bro,
So unless you tell me you have
Bro.
somebody,
Oh.
again, it comes with a Baker situation, this, that, and the other. Until you could tell me you can improve at that position at, to what you already have. If you could tell me you can't do that, then fine. But you can't. You stick with the player. How bad could it have been with his leadership that you move on for him before the Eagles could even use the pick that you gave him for? The pick that you gave him for, they haven't even used it. Okay. Then a couple players, Darius Butler was on shout out to him. He was on ESPN
Darius
this morning.
Leonard. Yeah.
No, Butler.
Oh, Darius Butler.
cornerback.
Okay, the corner. Okay.
The corner, 9-year cornerback. He now covers the Colts for his podcast. He has a podcast named Man to Man.
Good for him.
I would love to check it out because what he was talking about today, I liked it. I related to how he, was talking football. And he said he talked to a lot of the players in the locker room, and he said that they loved Carson Wentz. And Darius Leonard, like you said, was one of those guys. So,
absolutely.
Like you said, man, there's nothing else to really talk about. It looks like they butchered this situation yet again. Irsay is too involved, kind of like a Jerry Jones situation. I don't know, bro. Like, they have to have a plan. There's no way that kid that we do like from Washington is going to be your future quarterback now. Are they going to try to trade for Jimmy? Are they going to try to trade for Deshaun Watson? What is it? I'm interested to see what they're going to do because now they don't have a first-round pick to draft a guy either. So what do we got, Mo? What do we have?
We'll see what they do, Vic. Obviously, you got to wait and see what they do, obviously. But, bro,
talk about it more.
Like, this is the same team that there are rumors, there are whirlwinds that these folks chose Phillip Rivers over Tom Brady. Okay? If talking about the same crew, this is bad. This is very bad. Forget everything good Chris Ballard has done. You know why? Because it's all about the quarterback position. It doesn't matter what you do. We only remember the quarterback. Fair, foul, you don't like it. It don't matter if you don't like it. This ain't about your feelings. These views is about the lab. And if you don't have the quarterback, if you don't get it right with the quarterback, nobody's going to remember. Nobody is going to remember. So Chris Ballard, the seat has never been hotter.
It should be.
And what was once a possible Hall of Fame resume could have the biggest black dot on it by the time we have this same show next year. I'll let you wrap it up, Vic, before we move on to the next one.
Yeah, no, if you can argue and debate with us all you want, Tom Brady would have probably delivered a Super Bowl to that football team if he would have went there, because AB would have followed up, Gronk would have followed up. The only missing piece he would have not had, Mo, was Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
It does not matter.
And it would have not mattered.
It does not matter. With that, he'd have had 12 seconds to throw the football, bro. Okay? He could have had me and you out there. He'd have still found us to give us a chance to catch the football with the amount of protection he would have had. Whatever. There is about 32 teams in the NFL that Tom Brady could have went to and won a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
And you better prove me wrong. You can't. Okay.
Raiders.
The Raiders, bro.
You said 32 teams.
Yeah, they would have been playing cards with the house money, bro. He would
have won with the Knicks before he won with the Raiders.
Thank you.
Yo,
we gotta cut that. We gotta clip that. Anyway, let's move on. Let's little rapid fire style. It's 9:40. We wanted to keep this light, get it back in the flow. So we're gonna try to wrap this up within the next 5 to 10 minutes at most. If you got any questions, jot them down now in the comment section. We'll go through them at the end. Vic, let's go rapid fire style real quick. I'm gonna give you some news. Give me just a quick 1-liner, 2-liner analysis.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers reportedly has agreed to sign a 4-year, $200 million. That has not been confirmed, but those are the reports. 4 years,
Yes.
$200 million. And they tagged Devontae Adams. Your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that's in a cap-heavy, like, bad situation. This is a guy that talks about needing some more pieces, but took a lot of money. So we'll see what happens there if they can add anybody to help that situation.
A few years ago, I would have had no issues with this deal. This year, at his age, after what we've seen over the last couple of years, with everything going on with the Packers, this is a terrible, terrible, terrible on-the-field football decision. The only reason they made this decision, and I mean this wholeheartedly, this is not troll mode, okay? This is real. The only reason they're going to give him that money is so that he can afford a down payment when he wants to buy the Packers in the next 10 years. You remember I said it. You remember I said it. Next one.
You said it for a while already.
We got a couple salary cap cut situations. You got Jordan Hicks for the Arizona Cardinals. There's a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
He's, again, this is a good move for Arizona, but Jordan Hicks can still play ball now. You talked about Roger Saffold. He is going to be a highly coveted free agent. Like, don't sleep on how underrated of a signing Roger Saffold can be for a potential Super Bowl contending football team. And then Trey Flowers for the Lions, another one. Obviously, Bobby Wagner. But Trey Flowers and Bobby Wagner and Chandler Jones will all be looking for new homes. Give me your thoughts, Vic, on any of them.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is, we got a situation where now there's 17 NFL games, load management. Rotate these players, but they can definitely go help a football team win a lot of games. There's still some value there. Like I said, Khalil Mack has been injured a lot, but there's still definitely when he's on the field, he's still a force. So it's going to be interesting what he does for the Chargers. But Bobby Wagner, rumors have it, even the Cowboys might be interested, etc. So we'll see what happens with those guys.
Sure, absolutely. Listen, I think to me, Trey Flowers, Bobby Wagner, Roger Saffold. Those are three guys that if you are that team, if you got a nice, decent mix of some, if you got a young linebackers group, right? Like
Denver.
Oh my God, yes, absolutely.
He could actually go help Denver.
Absolutely, he can go to Denver because guess what? Bobby is not going to look for a big payday. He's going to want to get paid, but he's not going to be greedy here. Not that I know him, not that I know the situation. Sometimes you could just sense things, right? And
it's not like a 4 or 5 year deal, maybe. Look, 1 or 2 years and let me maybe play. Even they might give him 3 years. After 2 years, hey, we can cut you, go our separate ways. You can retire. It's going to be something like that. It's going to be a team friendly deal that's going to see him get a proper contract. And good for him. Bobby Wagner is one of my favorite players in the National Football League. He has been for the last 10 years. I am a big fan of Bobby Wagner. Matter of fact, you can go back to 2015, 2014. I got posts. As much as people were Luke Kuechly, like to me, Bobby Wagner is right up there as far as one of the greatest linebackers of the last 20 years. And I mean that. A couple teams assigning Harold Landry 5 years, $87 million. Vic, I think we can both agree that's okay. I mean, it's high, whatever. Like the salary cap next year is going to be, I think, what is it? 208 million, right? 200. Yeah. I guess whatever. That's a good contract for a player that's homegrown. It's going to be a little team friendly. You can move around a lot of stuff. For again, NFL money, especially when it comes to a lot of situations. This being one of them, it's monopoly money. Don't worry about what they paid him. Just know they gave him 5 years, which means you can allocate the money any way you want. Some franchise tag moves, some of them interesting, some of them expected. You got Cam Robinson for the Jags. Okay, I understand it. Mike Gesicki, tight end for the Dolphins. Why? I'm not sure. Orlando Brown, he was traded from the Ravens. You remember? He's with the Chiefs now. They franchise tag him. I get it. David Njoku was tagged by the Browns. Why? I love Njoku. I think he's a good player. I think he can contribute. Why is that a franchise tag? I don't know. Chris Godwin tagged by the Bucks. That tells me one thing. They are holding on hope that the GOAT returns. That's the only reason you franchise tag Chris Godwin
because they don't want to commit to Godwin long term because they know that's not really a good feasible move. So they tag him just in case. Yeah. Just in case Tom Brady wants to come back, and obviously we talked about Devontae Adams. Your thoughts, Vic?
About the tight ends, bro. I just think that it's an $8 million franchise tag. So I know Gesicki apparently wants to appeal it because he feels like he's played more snaps as a receiver since he's a receiving tight end. So he's going to try to get that receiving money. Actually, it's 18-10. So it's 18 for the receivers, 10 for the tight end. So it's a cheap investment franchise tag for both of those tight ends. So I just maybe they just don't have anybody else to tag right now.
It's cheap, but that's still going straight to your cap.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they don't have anybody else to tag. You know what I mean? A more important position. So maybe that's just all it is right there.
But you're not required to use your franchise tag.
Yeah, but why not use it?
I get it, but why not sign him?
I mean, because even the Cowboys tagged Dalton Schultz. And they had to with their cap situation, which other news is that they cut Amari Cooper. A lot of Cowboy fans are very upset with that move.
Yes. So let's talk about that real quick. Go ahead. That's the next one.
It's understandable. It's one of those situations. Listen, I've been upset with the Cowboys forever. I got even more upset when they cut Dez Bryant. I felt like he was a scapegoat. But they knew immediately that they needed a number one receiver in the outside at the X position. As soon as the first 4 games they traded for Cooper, without Dez, they traded for Cooper because they knew that Dak just needed a number one guy to take a lot of defensive attention. It's going to be interesting now. Is CD Lamb ready to play the outside and dominate in the outside?
Great question.
And take a lot of that defensive attention. They did bring Michael Gallup, or they're looking to bring Michael Gallup back. He can also leave if he wanted to. He's a free agent. It's going to be interesting for the Cowboys, but definitely Amari Cooper is a big loss. That is a $20 million cap hit, though. So, they got the Zeke contract where they have to consider as well, which he's going to stay. So, a lot of teams with a lot of cap situations that they shouldn't be in.
So, Josh Storms, let me know if you're still in here. I see you retracted your comment, sir. I caught it. It is on my list. I'm glad you mentioned it. I did not mention it, but I'm glad you brought it up because that is one I wanted to talk about, not in detail, but I wanted to say something specific about the Jesse Bates. The Cincinnati Bengals safety, they tagged him. It might happen to a couple of other players. I'm not saying it's not going to, but this is just a formality. That's all it is. They just wanted to tag him to make sure he doesn't hit the market. By the summertime, he will have a long-term contract with the Cincinnati Bengals. We got a question in the comment section, which ironically, Big Shot, your question is related to our next conversation. Vic, Big Shot asks, if Tom Brady returns next year, which team will he return to? And I want y'all to remember, it wasn't Skip Bayless. It wasn't Mike Florio. I'll make y'all to make sure y'all remember who said it in December that Tom Brady will retire after this year because he wants to be out of Tampa Bay. But it don't mean he's not going to play 1 year for the San Francisco 49ers. Y'all just remember?
I was there when you said it.
Thank you.
I was there when you said it.
Thank you. Vic, here's what we're going to talk about. The 49ers, you brought it up. They signed Nate Sudfeld. Yes, we are telling you, we are choosing to voluntarily give you this piece of information because it is actually of significance that the San Francisco 49ers signed Nate Sudfeld. Vic, what was your reasoning why they signed Nate Sudfeld?
Well, there's 2 reasons. Either they are looking at Tom and want to back up the 3 quarterbacks on the roster, or they're getting ready to trade Jimmy Garoppolo.
So your 2 points are connected.
Yeah.
Because they are going to get rid of Jimmy.
Okay.
And their goal, San Francisco's goal, is to send Jimmy to Tampa Bay. Be it free agency or trade. Let me tell you something. Forget this. What do they call it? Oh my God, I can't think straight tonight. When you're not allowed to talk to other players in a certain time period. Geez, I can't believe.
Oh my God.
What is wrong with me?
Tampering.
Thank you. Tampering. Don't you think for 1 second there will be no tampering within Tampa's ring? Okay? Like somehow, some way, if there is interest in that man playing one more year, which there is, he will be on the 49ers. I am not guaranteeing that Jimmy will be with Tampa, but San Francisco's goal is to get Jimmy to Tampa one way or another for 12 to play one more year because we need it. We deserve it. Oh, yes, you've given us 22 years. Oh, yes, you have. Okay? But we need one more year, Tom. I was going to make a video the day he retired. I chose not to. I will keep choosing not to until I am 100% convinced that he is retired. Okay? One more year. Go ahead, Jay.
He go to San Fran. They're going to beat Green Bay again in January.
Oh my God, dude. Oh, I would have a freaking field day, yo.
From now on, J-Ham has got to be in this role for every show. Every show, okay? Every show.
So just to clarify, I said they're either getting ready to go with all three quarterbacks they currently have in the roster, or there's definitely going to be a move, like you said. So Jimmy most likely will get moved. And yes. I would be shocked if they don't give Tom a call. If not, if they haven't done it already. Is Rob Gronkowski, has he even announced his retirement yet?
Bro, Rob is like, Tom, what we doing, Tom? Come on. Tom, they asking me questions every day, Tom. When am I going to be able to tell these people something, Tom? You know, Tom is a Leo, okay? Leos are toxic, all right?
Oh, I didn't even know that. I forgot. August guy, yeah.
Yeah, bro, Leos, whatever, okay? Y'all are toxic, okay? Tom is being toxic right now to Gronk and myself and other people. Come on, 12. We know what you want to do. Anyways, Jay, if you want to jump on one more time, we about to wrap it up. Mo Chef the Vic Jr., the greatest heel of all time. Jay Ham is in the building. We will be back definitely Monday and Tuesday, but keep an eye out before then. We're going to do another show, something lighthearted. We got the draft coming up. We got a lot to talk about. So just make sure you follow us on Instagram, the.scene, and Facebook group, Feast for the 22, and the Scene page where you will have access to the rest of the groups under the umbrella. Big bro, what you got to say? Jay. You there, Jay?
I don't think you can hear it. Can you hear us?
Jay, can you hear me?
Oh, I thought you said Vic. My bad.
No. I said
he said big bro.
Monday night. What's the name of our group? 94 Feet of Life. I almost forgot about it. 94 Feet of Life. 2022 NCAA tournament preview show. Yes. The whole gang's probably won't be there. I'm hoping that my man Worldwide List gonna come through. He said he might be on the road. I got G2 gonna be there though. G2 joins us every year in March, and we don't always drop some gems. I'm gonna piss Trav off because I'm gonna pick Kentucky to win the whole thing, and I really do believe they're gonna win the whole thing. But tune in. We're gonna have some fun this Monday night. What we got Tuesday night? Stoppage time FC. They back on the block. The gang's all back, man.
The gang's back, and then Wednesday the Dish gonna do something. So just like it's pick, Monday and Tuesday. Just keep in mind you're gonna have to tune into the Scene twice. Our Monday show is gonna be lighthearted. Our Tuesday show is gonna hopefully be, the plan is for that Tuesday show for us to go live at like 3:30 in the afternoon when the new year kicks off at 4:00, hopefully. So just keep it in mind. There's gonna be a lot of news coming out. Make sure you in the group. Make sure you on Twitter. We got content coming. We got news coming. Vic, anything you want to add before we wrap it up for good for the night?
Man, it was fun. Nice to see you back on the screen.
Yes, sir, for sure. Good to be back. Good to be back. Good to be back.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that joined us today, man. Thank you for the support as always. I think we had up to 15 views there. So,
amen. We appreciate everybody that tunes in always. Remember. Wednesday, the dish should be doing something. Tuesday, stoppage time and views. Monday, light views show. But 94, y'all don't want to miss that March Madness show. I promise you, it's one of the best shows that they do. Their March Madness energy is always special from the 94 feet of life.
I'm not filling out no bracket sheet. So don't even ask me to join the stupid bracket challenges.
If you ask him to fill out your bracket sheet, I promise you, round 16 is going to say y'all. 8 is going to say your team. Final 4 is going to be slaw. Championship round is going to say as hell. So don't even ask.
This is my brother. You know what the deal is.
Real quick, baseball did come to an agreement. The baseball, the union.
Yes, they did.
This is the owners' drama that happened. They were able to come to a tentative agreement. They're fixing some things right now as we speak. Yeah, of course, the dish, tune into dish because they will definitely get into that. I know those guys are very excited about that stuff.
When it comes to the details of baseball, Ty, Storms, and that dude Jorge, there's nobody I'd rather listen to when it comes to the sport of baseball. Straight up.
We got throw Trav in there. We got to throw championship.
Well, for sure. Trav is like the Ric Flair of the group, bro. Like he just gonna show up and you know it's gonna be a good time. Hey, last thing I'm gonna say. We are mental health advocates here. You will not find a group of men who got a stronger thing towards it. Okay. However, we also understand accountability. Ooh. Calvin Ridley, you got nobody to blame but yourself. Anything y'all want to add before I click stop live stream? I love you, Tanya.
I'm glad we didn't really go like deep dive on it.
Yeah.
Because it's really not much to say other than what you just said. You know,
right. Yeah.
Hope that they get it right, get it back together. I think that the punishment was unjust. I think it was a little too harsh.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
We could do a whole nother show on it.
We should do a whole nother show on it. We should. We're going to ruffle some feathers for some of you birds. Views crew on the scene. Catch y'all.